Melissa,
And I'm Mike.
and welcome back to the A&M podcast. So today we have something that really sparked my interest over the weekend. Being around a bunch of younger children who we just found out are called Generation Alpha, which is I kind of like the name of that generation, Generation Alpha. I'm a millennial, and I feel like millennials get a bad rap. So when you say the word like I'm a millennial, people automatically have some kind of perception of you. And
Apparently, I just recently found I didn't know what generation I was. I found out I'm Gen X,
which
which
I
I
think
didn't.
Gen X sounds pretty cool too.
It does. It makes me think of the X-Men, but I have no powers, so
Yeah, it
I don't.
sounds.
No blades coming out.
So today we're gonna, because I was with a lot of Generation Alphas over the weekend, I heard a lot of phrases. And, I've always been hip, I've always been cool. And, with the times, and I don't even
I
consider myself.
think I just want to interrupt you there. I think when you use the word hip, it
It
like
takes me
immediately
down.
lowers your level of hipness. But that's just me.
Yeah, so probably. But I was hearing a lot of terms, and I was like, we need a topic on this. We need a topic on this because these terms Generation Alpha is using nowadays, y'all, it sounds crazy. They sound crazy. I know that none of them are listening because they're all like, what, probably 10 or under. So none of them are
Yeah,
listening to
they're
this podcast.
not the target audience.
They're
They're
not the
not
target audience, so I can say it. They sound crazy.
Right.
And anyone that's heard any of these phrases from your own kids, your nephews,
Is this
kids in the
is this an
stores.
educational? Like we're gonna teach people what they mean so that
Yeah,
they
we
know
can
when they
teach.
hear them. It's like a translation.
Yeah, because we have the generation.
Does Google Translate have like? Should check on that.
It's
That
like
would
a full language.
yeah.
I don't remember my generation using, when I was younger, like terms so much like they're using nowadays. Like
Yeah, I
it's
feel like
literally a language.
I feel like though every generation has their own, and you just
Like
don't
they
recognize it at the time because it's just the terms people are using, and you follow what people you know are doing, and that kind of thing. I don't think it's like, hey, let's use this word. I don't think that's how it originates. It's
Yeah.
more,
It's
you
probably more
know,
trendy now because they have social media, so they're able
right?
to, you're not just getting the terms from like
From
your classmates or
right
whatever, which I
or
don't even
from.
know how that
I also
transfers.
I feel like it comes probably more from I don't know from like what's the term, like popular, people that are popular at the time.
I don't know. I think
You know what I
it's
mean?
the age of TikTok. The
That's
TikTokers.
today, yeah.
It's they all sound like a bunch of little TikTokers. No shade on the TikTokers though. But
By the way, check out the A&M podcast TikTok.
yeah, check us out. So so we have the definitions for some of these terms. I kind of want to talk about the difference between just their terms that I've used, which I was looking up my generation terms, and we'll get into it, but I haven't, all the ones that they showed me here, because I was trying to, like refresh my memory on maybe ones that I used when I was younger, but they have just older phrases here, like ones that I literally use now, unless I'm just immature. But yeah, all the ones that they have now are ones that I've heard of when I was older. Whereas when I was younger, I feel like we used ones like "you rock" or I don't know,
Okay.
like
Yeah. I mean, so how do you want to go through these ones
yeah.
first, and then we can
Let's
go to the
let's
the
go.
millennial and Gen X
Let's
slang
go
terms.
through the list. Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
I have to pull mine up too. Oh, my
Yeah.
phone's not charging here.
Well, that's gonna be a problem.
Okay, it's okay. We won't worry about it. It's fine. I have an iPhone, a newer iPhone, so this will
Is it?
probably last me through the rest of the day.
I mean, okay.
Okay, guys. First one is Sigma, which I have heard this term be used before. I forget where I saw it. I think I saw it on, I don't know, like an Instagram video of someone's like kid saying it.
You know, as I look at these, I'm just thinking I'd like to know the origin, like, and
Like
I don't know
where
if
they
it,
get it
yeah,
from.
like I don't know, or where how it started being used. like,
Oh
because
yeah.
for Sigma, it says a term used to describe someone who's self-sufficient, independent, and prefers to spend time alone. I'm like, how is that
Self-sufficient,
Sigma?
independent, and prefers. I'm Sigma. I feel like I'm pretty Sigma.
Is that how? Are you using it in proper context? Is that like?
Like you
I feel like
are
we
a
should have had a
Sigma.
gen, I feel like we should have had a Gen Alpha Gen Alpha person
True.
on this podcast
Oh yeah.
to like give us proper
If you
like
have any Gen
context.
Alpha people, like ask
Yeah,
them if we're saying it right. But I
yeah,
think I'm a Sigma. Or is it I'm Sigma or I'm a
yeah. That's
Sigma?
what I'm saying. Like, is it I'm Sigma or like, oh my gosh, she's so Sigma. Is
Oh
that how
no,
they
I think
use
that's
it?
how they say it. That's how
Okay.
the video I
Wow.
saw
Look
said
at
it.
me.
She's so Sigma. I'm Sigma. That's what I'm saying. I'm Sigma.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
next
I take that's a positive term. Like if you heard somebody say that about you, it's like,
if
oh,
someone
all right,
calls you
they're saying
Sigma,
you have it together, right?
unless you don't want to prefer to spend time alone, if
Right,
that like offends you.
right. That's true.
Okay, the next one they have on this list is beta, a
Beta.
term used to describe someone who is weak.
I guess I kind of get that because like they say
Beta?
somebody's alpha, like they're a leader.
Uh-huh.
Beta is
The
after alpha,
opposite?
so it would be like somebody
Oh.
that's following an alpha. I get that. I get that one.
Oh, so Gen Alpha, they're saying that that's their leaders.
I'm
Okay.
just I'm yeah. There you go. You're not Gen Alpha, so you must be Beta. Therefore,
Oh, right. That's why they probably have
I
that
didn't
term in
think of
there.
that.
Okay. Um okay, so this is the one.
This one just
This is
it makes me laugh just looking at
this
it.
is so this is the word. Well, this combined with
It's
another word is the one that honestly stimulated my brain for this
yeah.
idea, and it's skibbity. And
Can
when
you spell that?
so ooh, we should have a
Can you
spelling
use it
bee episode.
can you use it
That would be
in a
so fun.
sentence? Um,
Okay, so skibbity, when I heard it, they were using, so Riz is also on this list. And when I heard children using it, they were saying skibbity Riz,
wow.
which
Okay.
sounds so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Well,
but it sounds
and
ridiculous.
looking at the definitions of both of them too, it makes no sense because skibbity it says a term used to describe something that's bad, and
Oh,
then riz is
right.
a term used to describe someone's charm, swag, or ability to attract others.
So if I say that you're skibbity Riz, that means that you have no game.
Oh, okay, okay,
Skibbity Riz.
okay, I got it. So it's like, okay, wow,
And
okay.
Riz, I found out, is
I
short
just
for
I find that I'm already
charisma.
waiting for whatever the next generation
Riz.
slang term is. I'm already sick of these ones.
Riz.
It took three. It took getting to the third for me to be like, nope, I'm out.
Riz is short for charisma. I know I found that out.
Okay, that makes sense. Skibbity makes
So,
no sense.
skibbity, I don't know where they got that that's bad.
Yeah, I don't either.
Skibbity doo dah. Um, mewing,
Mewing.
a term used to describe someone who looks good. Mewing? Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, it looks like mewing. It looks like it would be mewing or mooing. Now, mooing would be two O's.
Mooing doesn't.
MEWING for those of you at home, if you're playing the home game. And it's describe someone who looks good. Wow, they're really
I don't
mewing.
even know how you. I wish they in this that they also told us like how to
Yeah.
use it in a sentence.
Yeah, it should have like a recording of someone using it in a sentence. We need to find better sources.
Phantom tax, a term used to describe the act of stealing food. Phantom tax.
Phantom tax. It's by the way, it's not phantom. It's FANUM.
Phantom. Unless they missed a letter when they were spelling this, because
Maybe.
our source is not verified.
Well, that's true. What is our source? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Google.
It doesn't matter. No one's listening to this anyway. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's AI overview. That's our source.
Okay.
Okay, so I trust it a little more.
Yeah.
Phantom tax is when you steal food. That makes sense because have you ever heard before the term of like, uh, Like I give you your food and then
Yeah.
I take a French
Yeah,
fry off
yeah,
your
yeah.
plate, like as
You say
tax.
that's the tax. Yeah. Yeah, that was something. Who was it? Somebody used to do that. They'd take like yeah, they'd buy their kid an ice cream cone. They'd always take like the first bite and say that's
Uh-huh.
the tax. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that made me think of actually. So,
So that makes sense, I guess. Kind of stealing like our jokes, but it's fine.
right.
Sus. I've had this. I've used this.
Yeah, I've used this too, which means
Sus.
I don't know, my hip.
Yeah, you're with the times.
I'm up with it.
We obviously know that that's a term used to describe something that is weird or suspicious. Um,
Negative
negative
aura. I
aura.
don't think that's. I mean,
A term used to
something that
describe
is
something
not
that's not
cool.
cool.
Like I don't feel that that's an. I don't know. Maybe that is
Because
a
if
new
you
term.
have good
Maybe
aura,
how they're using it is new. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like that's a new term. I feel like that's
your aura is negative.
mad lit.
Mad lit.
A term used to describe something that is stylish. I don't feel like that's that new either. I feel like that's
Well, we've used lit. Lit actually is on my list of terms.
wow. So they just there was a modifier. They added mad to it. So it went from being millennial.
Which,
Was
like,
there a generation in between there too?
what?
Between the
Millennial?
alpha generation and
Gen Z.
millennial? Oh,
Right?
Gen Z. Okay, you're right.
Gen Z was the last one.
Well, then why weren't millennials just called Gen Y since I was Gen X?
Because a millennial, because we were. Oh. Because, like, we grew up in the new millennial.
Right.
Millennium,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah,
The new
I was
millennium.
yeah.
Mad lit, yeah, because they also use words. They use words now. Um, bad words mean like good things now.
Right. Yeah.
Like cool things. Like, oh, that's bad. But like they actually
Yeah.
mean it's good.
No, I mean that that's not new though. I mean,
Oh, that's nasty. But it's
yeah,
actually like,
yeah,
oh, that's
I got you.
cool.
I feel like that's always been the case. Like going back to some of the like
When I was
I
little, I just
remember
said, oh,
people
that's
used to
cool.
say, "Oh, that's wicked," and not we weren't from Boston. It wasn't like the wicked awesome. It wasn't like that. It was just, "Oh, that's wicked." You know that was like the same thing. Generally, it sounds like a
Wicked.
bad word, but
Like a bad word.
well, not not like that. Like we didn't need to bleep me out there.
We
Oh, do we
will,
have
though.
no? Do we have? I bet you we have a bleep button on the board here.
We really don't utilize
Yeah,
our
we don't.
buttons as
We
much as
don't.
we
We
can.
should. We should. Like, there's the. That's the.
Yeah, we do have sound effects.
Oh yeah, you hear them. Yeah.
What?
Well, every time I say something, can we just press this one?
No, I don't like that. It sounds.
fake laughter.
I can hear it right now. You can't. It sounds like a bunch of
Yeah.
scary clowns.
Yeah. Okay. So are we going to the millennial one list next?
Oh yeah, because Riz was the last one on that list.
Yeah.
Which there might be more.
There probably are.
But
if you're listening to this and you know more, comment.
Okay, so yeah, now we're gonna do the millennial list. The millennial list has a lot on it, which obviously because we had a lot more time. Because again, it was like 10-year-olds, not younger than that, who were saying these words. So the first one on my millennial list is bae. I've never used that. I think it's so corny to use that. I don't like how it sounds. And that's like a thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like as I got older, people have been using that. Nobody was using that in like elementary school, middle school. Basic, extra, lit, fam, mood, on fleek.
On fleek.
Nobody uses on fleek anymore.
Yeah, I know. There was a joke about that. There was the Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America.
Yeah.
There was a sequel to that. I think it was only on like Prime or Netflix or one of the streaming services, and it was funny because they made a joke of that because like he was using terms that he thought were like hip with his kids because now he's the older one in it, and he was upset to find out that on fleek was no longer cool. So that's whenever I hear that, it makes me think of that.
Sus, which.
Hey.
Sorry, Gen Alpha, we had it first.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had that on the list already. now I think these lists are sus.
Oh, adulting. Yeah, that's definitely a millennial thing. Bet, clapback. Nobody really uses clapback. High key, low key. I say those all the time. I hate it. Um, thirsty, throw shade, cap, flex,
Wow.
FOMO.
FOMO.
If there's one thing I have, it's FOMO. Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
I thought it was fear of monsters. No, I knew what it
Fear of monsters.
meant. Fear
What?
of monsters. I don't know. I didn't think enough into the joke to say what the O would stand for.
Ghosted, glow up, salty, shook.
You're going through these and not explaining any of them, though.
Oh, you want to know what they mean?
Well, I mean, some of them I know, but you should maybe the poor person who's listening to this in the audience doesn't. So.
All the people in here
This is
probably
supposed
know
to be
what they mean.
educational. We said that at the
Okay,
beginning.
slay. The thing is, honestly, like whoever wrote the Gen Alpha ones, they did a really good job at describing them because, like slay. How do I describe slay? It means just
so
like
you just have a list.
slay. Yeah, it doesn't have the
If you
descriptions
tap,
for
If
me.
you tap on those, though, does it?
I'm scared to tap on them because
You think it's
I feel like
clickbait? No, yeah, it's
no.
got
I
the
just thought it
definition.
was gonna like take me away somewhere.
Oh, I see.
High key is the opposite. Listen to this description.
Opposite of Loki.
Yeah. That's
Like-
how I would describe it too.
Yeah, that's like if I didn't have a definition in front of me and somebody asked me, that would be my first guess. So that's good.
Oh man, it's gonna make me cough. Another slang term with roots in the hip hop community. Low key is used when you want to keep something chill. High key is when you, I'm assuming, want to like not keep it chill.
Right. I'm over here looking at the Gen X list and the
Oh, you have
definitions.
definitions.
Oh yeah, it
See,
has
I don't
full
have that.
definitions. Yeah, on this
This is
one.
very millennial
is-
to just give me a list of words
Right,
and
and
no
just-
definition.
No, but if you open them,
it takes me to
does.
different websites. So look, it doesn't give me like an
Ah,
actual like
So you got
list.
like an AI response that built a
Maybe.
summary.
Oh,
for
here
you.
we go. 21 millennial slangs.
There you go.
It's probably still just gonna give me a list. See, it's
That's
either a
I
list
think that's
or
the same page I'm on, but I'm looking at the Gen X one.
oh. Okay, here we go. Adulting. There is no adulting. Just do your laundry and pay your bills and handle your business. We don't need a slang term for this. Wait, I
wow.
don't know
Okay,
what I opened.
This seems to be a dis millennials word list.
Um,
By the way, dis is on the list of Gen X words.
I might have messed you up
So.
there with my cough.
Okay.
Basic. Something that's mainstream or wildly accepted. Or someone who likes those things. We used to call those people generic. And by we, I mean Gen X. Dad, did you write this?
I did not, but I was gonna say, I feel like your list was written by a Gen Xer. It might have been written by the same person that wrote my list because they seem to be pretty. Because I'll read you like the first, not to switch back, but the first one. Maybe we should do it this way. They'll go back and
We
forth.
can alternate. Yeah, that sounds fun.
The first one on the list that I have that's the Gen X words is chill pill, and it's that phrase, I guess. It says the phrase "take a chill pill" was first popped in the early 1980s. Green's Dictionary of Slang, I didn't even know there was a dictionary of slang, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, right.
Defines it as metaphorical medicine that acts to calm one down. So basically, Gen X are using this phrase with saying, relax. Take a chill pill.
Take a chill pill.
So,
I've used that term. That's funny.
yeah.
So the person that wrote yours was hating on mine.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was the same person because they seem to like, right? They didn't have anything negative to say about chill pill. Both
Wow.
years they've been like, yeah, adulting, no, just do your job.
Yeah. Much like Gen Xers. Oh, sorry, guys. This is clapback. Much like Gen Xers, millennials have learned the wisdom of copying slang terms from hip hop culture. A clapback is like a witty comeback, but it's much more devastating. Please don't clap back at me about this. Oh my gosh. Whoever wrote this, hilarious. Can't even give them a shout out, but I feel like we should have had them on our podcast for this episode.
We got to start arranging guests. who can get us like? But I want famous guests. Like I think we're at the point we're in our like I don't know 8th or 9th episode now. Maybe it's only the 7th
Or how do we get a
where
celebrity on
we should
here?
have somebody famous on.
We've name dropped Paul Rudd in
I know.
2 episodes. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
kind of name drop Paul. Well, now in 2 episodes because you mentioned
now
him.
in 2 episodes officially, 3 total.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one on my list is gnarly. Gnarly's been around for a long time. First citation goes back to the mid 19th century. So
Oh, gnarly was like a.
yeah.
I feel like I've always thought of that as like a surfer term though.
Yeah. From the surf
Not
culture,
really.
that's what it says here. According to Greens, again, this is based on a dictionary, so it's a good source, I
We
guess.
should have brought it on board today.
I know. If I knew that it existed. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I guess, was the first time they saw it used.
Gnarly.
In that during the Gen X generation, which makes sense that movie it would have come out of. You've probably never seen that movie, but that was kind of yeah awesome. Let's see. It's used to refer to things that were unattractive or attractive or awesome or scary, depending on the context. So it could be unattractive or attractive. Just you had to understand the context, I guess. So there we are. That's gnarly.
Gnarly. I think I have seen that show or movie or whatever it is. Sounds familiar. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
an old one.
I forget who's in it. Doesn't matter.
Humble brag. When you complain about something you shouldn't be complaining about.
Yeah, I know. That's
Or try to couch a brag like it's a hassle. A lot of people who do this have privilege and hate hearing
gosh,
about
humble
it.
brag, I guess. Yeah, that would be my. Then again, I guess there would be people that if you said, "Oh, I'm so sick of driving my Tesla," they'd be like, "I know, right?" That's not a good example of a humble brag.
Or like, oh my god, my house is just so
It's
big.
too
It's too
big. I like, yeah.
Ugh,
Okay.
what am I gonna do with all this money?
Yeah. I have to keep counting it. Let's see.
That's a humble brag.
The next one on this list doesn't. The term is rock. It says grunge and punk rock music rose to prominence when Gen Xers were in their teens and 20s. We can thank these trends for giving us rock, which was first used as a verb meaning to be excellent around the early 80s. I don't think that's right. I feel like that term was used a lot earlier than the 80s.
Wasn't it like your term was more like people would be like, "Oh, rock on."
I don't remember that.
A lot of older people I've
I
worked
can tell
with
you
have
I've
said
never
that.
used that term. I mean,
Rock on. Like no, in a way
but
of
I can
like,
think of it more as like, oh, that rocks.
yeah.
You know, like as
But
in,
I know
that's
people
really
that like if I tell like, "Hey, I got a new job." Oh, rock on. Like people say it like that.
good. Right.
Hey, they use it as like a
Yeah.
cool. Um, uh, fam. This one's kind of boring. Fam.
Fam.
Short for family.
Yeah.
You don't know that, guys.
That's a millennial term. I hear
Yeah,
that
do you
more
have it on your
now
list?
than.
What's up, fam? That's
Yeah.
because it's from us millennials that you think are just
Oh,
younger than we
I
are.
got you. Okay.
Because have you ever seen the thing? This is off topic, but have you seen the thing about like 30-year-olds now versus 30-year-olds like back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we still look like we're all in our 20s. And I feel like it too.
Okay.
Some famous person the other day.
You do realize every generation though felt like that. Every
No way,
generation
no
when
way.
they were in their 30s, they felt like oh, I'm still 18.
Well, but did you think you looked like it? Because look at these old TV shows.
Yeah.
Some of them, I can't think of it off the top of my head. What's that one with the guy who had the girl, the wife?
Is it Paul Rudd? Is that
so Paul Rudd? No, that show. It was an old show with that guy who he was.
Bill Cosby? I don't know. I mean,
I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. He was dating the. He was married to the girl who played the basically AI assistant in Smart House back in the day. Remember the show Smart House?
I don't remember
It's
that
okay.
show
I'll
at
find
all.
it later and
Wow.
I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah,
But
we. I
anyways,
think if we had a way to do it, you could do a phone a friend to somebody, and we don't really have that ability.
no, but anyways, he looked older in his show. He looked like a 50-year-old, 40,
Oh,
upper 40s, but he was like supposed to be 30.
got you.
Anyways,
Was that? Oh, is it my turn?
it's your
So
turn.
mine has 5 and 6 together, and I don't know why, but it's yuppie and dis.
Yuppie.
Yuppie was from the acronym YUP for Young Urban Professional. I did not know that until just now.
Why you?
I'd heard the term, but I never. Maybe I did know that. I just forgot it. Let's see. The term is playful. It can also be a diss, which is the second word. I guess that's why they put them together, which is just like to
Wait,
disrespect
it's yuppie
someone.
and what?
Diss.
Oh.
Diss. DIS.
Oh.
Another term given to us by Gen X. So,
Yuppie.
yuppie. You're such
Yuppie.
a yuppie.
Oh,
I
that's
feel
how
like
you would use it?
yeah, I feel like it was like used like by people who weren't successful to like diss people who were. I think that, and there we go. And I used
You're
diss
yuppie.
in context, so I get an extra point on that one.
People still say diss.
I think I'm gonna win this
Stop
game.
dissing me.
Yeah, I know, but I guess that's when it. I guess this is based on when it originated, maybe.
Huh. Yuppie, I haven't heard about. I'm gonna bring that one back. You're
Yuppie.
a yuppie.
Oh wow, I'm loving the next one over here.
Oh my goodness. Lit. Boomers and Gen Xers use this one as a synonym for drunk. Millennials have made it a synonym for hyped up. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Mom says all the time, like she's
lit.
used she's
Yeah.
used that term like before, like
About somebody who was
like
drunk,
someone who was drunk, like
yeah,
she
they're
was
really
lit.
Yeah.
But you know, someone like me is looking at it like, oh, like you like
Yeah, right.
you're a fan of hers.
So and yet if you're talking about somebody who's lit, we're like, oh, well, did somebody give them a ride home? Did they did they call an Uber? Because
yeah, if I was like, yeah, we were all lit last night.
yeah.
Uh,
My next one's hella. Yeah, have you heard that one?
I've
I
heard
feel
that
like
one.
yeah.
I feel like I've used
Hella
it
dates
before.
back to the early 1980s.
I didn't think it was a you thing.
Yeah, I didn't either. Matter of fact, I don't remember hearing it like in the 80s, especially an adverb meaning very exceedingly and extraordinarily or impressive. Yeah, in an extraordinary or impressive manner. So that's hella funny. Is their example?
Yeah.
So hella.
Wow,
The
that's
place the place
interesting.
I remember I think I remember most hearing hella was in I think it was an episode of South Park where Cartman kept using hella.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember where. I think I've just heard like people using it. My next one is receipts. Evidence of hypocrisy. Like, oh, you want to lie to me? I have the receipts. And it's like
Oh
usually
yeah.
screenshots.
Yeah, I feel like they still use that today, but they
Give
use
me
it
the
more in
receipts.
terms of like evidence, proof.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's
Yeah.
what it was back then
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Evidence. Evidence.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Again, would have guessed that was more
Ours
current though,
has
because
so
I hear
many
that all
more
the time now.
than the generation now.
The
This
next
list is
one, I
crazy.
don't even understand. The next one on my list is dude.
Dude.
To be called a dude when the term first popped up in the 1870s, that's I don't know what generation that was not a good thing. It was an insult for men who dressed to the nines. So it's like the 1870s version of calling someone a yuppie, I think. Let's see. New York
No,
City.
it's because they were dressed so nice back then that if you called them a dude, I'm thinking they were like, because remember back in the 1800s, they dressed like ladies, kind of.
Well, no, but what it says here is that it likely derived from Doodle of Yankee Doodle Dandy fame, or a city slicker who tried to make it out in the rural American West. Okay, so it's like, a guy who came from New York City and went out to like Montana and was wearing a suit. They'd be like, look at that dude.
I don't know. I feel like that still sounds fine.
Yeah, that's actually what it says. New York City resident Theodore Roosevelt was called a dude when he showed up in the Dakota territories well before his presidency, for example. By the late 1960s, it was being used to refer to approvingly to a cool person, but it wasn't until Gen X that it got a hold that dude became used as an interjection.
Oh no.
Oh no. Anyway,
Oh no.
I don't know what just happened. I think an ad popped up, or it decided I looked at that story. No, okay, there we
I heard you
go.
reading it and was like, can
Yeah,
you
so
find out more
that was
about
pretty
it?
much the end of it anyway. But I also think of what's oh my god, I can't think of the movie. I'm having a like total brain freeze. But the dude, you know the movie I'm talking about?
No.
Wow. Somebody will, and I'll be shamed over it because my brain just stopped working. I can't think of the movie that had the dude in it.
The
Oh my god,
dude,
yeah, the dude.
I feel like I see who you're talking about's face in my head, but not really.
Wow, I can't believe I can't. Oh, this is
Just Google
horrible.
it.
It's time to put me in the home.
Google it.
Right, let's do that. Let's do it
While I'm saying
while
mine.
you're reading your next one.
Let's see. Stan. Basically, stalker
Ah, the big
slash fan.
interruption. The Big Lebowski. Wow, that was terrible
Oh,
that I
yeah,
couldn't think of
okay.
that. Okay, go ahead.
The
Sorry.
Big Lebowski.
Just had to redeem myself.
I know. I should have done that with the Paul Rudd one, but I didn't
Right,
want to be
right.
rude and like
You
go
had
on
your
my
phone
phone.
right here.
I know. Sometimes I feel weird, like just like I don't know. I guess I could look stuff up on my phone, but I should know these answers too.
Right.
Anyways, Stan, basically a stalker slash fan.
Oh,
There's a
Stan.
song about it you might know. If you don't know the term portmanteau, look it up.
Okay.
I'm not your English teacher. This guy is
Yeah,
fierce.
he's a little saucy over there.
He
I don't know.
is.
I'm glad mine's not like that because I would have already
Which you
left the
saying
page.
saucy, that's another term that used to mean like drunk, right?
Yeah, well, sauced. I guess.
Sauced.
Yeah.
You're so sauced. Crazy. That's a crazy term for drunk.
How about this one? This sounds very 80s. To the max.
That does sound
It's
amazing.
a phrase that indicates doing something absolute blah, 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 abs what? Doing the absolute most. Oh, okay. I have to learn to read before I do this again. So yeah, it's just saying it debuted in the 1970s,
You.
likely from an issue of Playboy magazine, interestingly enough, in which a person was described as cool to the max. It became most popular in the 1980s. Yeah, and I remember people using
Cool
that.
to the max in the Playboy magazine. So
Ah,
funny.
see, because it would be used in the phrase "grody to the max." I hope Grody's on here because I have no idea what that means.
I was gonna say, are you about to define grody because
Yeah,
I've never heard
I
that
may I
before.
may have to Google that one
Grody
separately.
sounds like a bad term.
It does. It does.
Oh, this one is a good one. Thirsty. This guy goes again. Millennials just taking words and redefining them. Thirsty now means, oh my goodness, that's not even true.
Yeah.
He said thirsty now means horny. Posting a
Oh God.
provocative selfie is posting a thirst trap, which that's not even what it means.
Okay.
This man has no
You
idea what
just
he's.
threw his list away now.
This man has no idea what he's talking about. Thirsty means just like um I don't even know the word for it.
Like you'd like a drink? Like I
Well, and him even saying that, like, what we're taking the word just thirsty, like we could be making up words
Yeah,
like, Gen
right.
Alpha, like skibbity or Riz.
Or Grody for that matter.
Thirsty just means to me, thirsty just means like desperate.
Okay.
Like,
Oh yeah, that
oh yeah,
I think I've heard it used
he
like
won't
that
stop
too.
texting me. He's so thirsty.
Yeah, I think I've heard it used like that.
This man.
Yeah. I don't think that person didn't know. They were making it up as a way
He was just
to
so upset about it.
insult millennials, yeah. Uh, let's
Next
see.
question.
Next question. Vibing or vibe could also be vibing, aka to have an exciting energy. So, it's like you know that it's like the music's good.
Vibing. Yeah,
You're
I'm
just
just
like
vibing.
you're in the right zone.
People use that still nowadays. I use
Yeah,
that all
that's
the
what I was
time.
gonna say. I feel like that's not
Just
like
vibing.
new.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
I like that one. That one's cute. Throw shade. That's what I just did.
on that guy. I can't wait to hear what his description, his or her. We're assuming.
To insult someone, but to insult them in a subtle way. Low key, if you will. Here are some prime examples from a prime example of millennial entertainment. Oh, and
Is
he
that
like
true
attached a
though?
video. Throw shade.
I mean, is it
Yeah,
like
no, kind of
a
like a
low
low
key
key,
of in way
like a
of
low
insult?
key insult. Yeah. Like I'm trying to
Like,
think of an
is it
example.
like, oh, you're gonna wear those shoes? Is that?
It'd be like
Oh,
kind of
that's the shirt you're gonna wear?
a little bit like that. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Or like, well, we can't all be late like you,
okay.
you
Got you,
know.
got you.
Like that's kind of throwing shade.
Okay, and this is the last one on my list, so I don't know if you have more.
I'll
but-
probably do one more. There's like, oh wait, yeah, I only have like one or two more.
Yeah, tripping, no G at the end. Ends in IN apostrophe. If you're tripping, according to dictionary.com, this one's from, wow.
Oh,
You're acting like a fool. It's funny that they have this in quotes. You're acting like a fool, that you're being too excited, that you're bothered about something. So you're acting like a fool, you're overly excited, or you're bothered about something.
oh, tripping. I
Maybe
use that all the time.
derived from the sense of trip, meaning to be under the influence of a drug. Yeah, okay.
Tripping.
Why
Oh,
you tripping like that?
tripping. Like I'm tripping on.
A banana peel.
Insert.
No, okay.
Yeah. That's the innuendo. Oh, that's funny. Um, this one is trill. And I haven't heard this one recently. I think this is more of like an older term. This is like the first older term I think I've heard on here. It's trill, which is true plus real equals trill.
Yeah.
This is one of the few things on the list that actually looks and sounds dated. This is an elder millennial term. See, told you.
An elder millennial
Has a
term.
late
What-
stage
so
Gen X feels.
How old would an elder millennial be?
Me. I'm
Oh,
probably an older
wow.
millennial.
Okay.
Because millennial, what did we find out? It was 1990
I think
to
yeah,
96.
something like that. Well, yeah, then okay, yeah, so you're right at the beginning of
So
it.
I'm an older millennial.
Gotcha.
A lot of these were newer millennial terms. Still not as bad as Gen Alpha terms.
Not as bad as Gen Alpha.
Which do we know? I guess yeah. So then I guess millennial. Wait, I'm a millennial.
I'm gonna do the Google again because we had to Google this to figure out what generations we were because we didn't really pay that much attention to it.
Which I should have guessed I was a millennial, but honestly, when people tell me I'm a
Generations
millennial,
by year. Oh wow, this is just incredible. It's got a whole chart here. Gen Alpha, 2010 and 2024. This is when you were born.
Gen Alpha 2010.
Gen
to
Z,
2024.
97 to 2012. Millennials, 81 to 96. So no, you're actually towards the end of being a millennial.
81 to
81,
96.
right. 81.
Yeah. See, so
Gen X, between 65 and 80. See, I'm on the, because I'm six. I shouldn't say what year I was born on.
65 and 80.
Yeah, but I'm right near the beginning of that, not at the beginning. But
You're
near
an
the beginning.
older
Yeah.
Gen Xer.
Baby boomers was 46 to 64. The silent generation, which was 26 to 45. Wow, I wonder. It says the generation that lived through World War II, the silent generation.
26 to what?
Born
45?
26 to 45. So that would be like your Nana and Pop Up would be the silent generation. I've never heard that term before.
Silent generation is a crazy one.
Yeah, and then obviously the greatest generation, which was the generation that fought in World War II, which was 1901 to 1924.
I didn't even know they had ones with terms back then.
Yeah, apparently they do. I mean, that's what they are. So anyone was curious about that. A couple other things I'm thinking of in this, and maybe this is like for a different episode, but there's other things from like, say, my era and probably your era too, that when you think of them today, it's like it's such an outdated idea. Not an outdated idea, but like to say it to somebody, they'd be like, "Well, so what?" Like,
What do you mean?
uh, there was Sammy Hagar had a song in the '80s that was "I Can't Drive 55," right? And that was because the speed limit on like highways back in the '80s was 55 miles an hour. Like there were almost no highways where you could go over 55 miles an hour. So somebody hearing that song today is like, yeah, so go 70 then, because most of the highways are either 65 or 70. So that's
Uh-huh.
that's like one that I think of that's really like
Wonder why
a generational thing. Why what?
they the speed limits were so low.
I don't know. Safety. I don't know. I don't know.
Cars couldn't go as
I don't
fast as
know.
they can
But it
now.
was sometime in there that they like nationally brought the legally the speed limit could go up to, I think 70 is the highest that it can go in the U.S.
Oh, like no matter what highway,
Yeah,
you
but it
can't. Oh,
used
I
to
didn't know
be.
they had
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
cap. I
I
thought it
think
was
like
just a.
no, I think it's. I mean, I think it's one of those things that like the federal government does, where they say like, well, if you have any roads that are over, and I might be wrong on this, so if somebody knows, you can correct me. But I think it's like where they set a rule that says, well, if you have any highways in your state that are where the speed limit's over like 55, let's say back then,
Yeah.
then you lose some of your federal highway funding or that kind of thing. And then I think also with
Okay.
like the interstate highways, like I-4 or I-80 or I-81 or any of those, I think the federal government sets the speed limit on those. I could be wrong about that too.
Oh, that would be interesting.
So there's facts that I can't guarantee are facts. So
I don't know. I trust everything you say, so I'm
yeah.
assuming you already know.
I'm at least I figure I'm at least as good as most AIs. You know, I get some things right, but not everything.
Like fingers. You've seen AI
Some of
fingers.
the AI photos with like, why does that guy? First of all, why does he have a hand coming out of his stomach?
They'll get the pictures
And then
so on point, and
yeah,
then their hands
yeah, and
look
then
like this.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
one
Like, how does
hand,
that
one
happen?
hand looks like that.
Yeah. There are some that I've seen that were like, and I think they were political things. It was like, somebody's like, campaign event or whatever,
Yeah.
and they added people in with AI, but then it was like you could see like that the same guy was in like 8 different places holding his phone up in exactly the same position, and then when you looked on the phone screen, it wasn't like you didn't see that he was like taking video of what was actually going on, but it was like just something else on the phone screen. It's just like AI's got to get better.
I love those AI photos.
Yeah.
I think they're so funny. They should start doing the new like notice the difference
Yeah, right.
type photos.
Right.
They would be great at that.
What's wrong with this photo?
Yeah. Anyways,
Anyways,
that's all we have today,
yeah,
y'all.
that's it. If you didn't enjoy this, maybe
Sorry.
maybe you'll enjoy the next one.
Or the ones before this one.
Yeah, exactly. So keep listening, like, share, help us
Yeah.
build our audience, and have a great day.
Bye, everybody.